Welcome and welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. To those that might be new, we are the Light Renegades. We are a collective of Pleiadian beings bringing you information from the stratospheres that are ever expanding. We are disclosing cosmic secrets and hopefully bringing forward information that's going to allow for you to stand ever more in your sovereignty and in your power. That being said, if you are here for the first time, welcome and apologies. I am still falling apart at the seams. I am still in the middle of a deep purge, deep overhaul of soul, and we are in shadow season, eclipse season. We have the super full moon in Pisces, which has been absolutely just rocking me off the entirety of my axis. So if you are there, please know I'm right there with you. You're going to have to really bear with me. I'm trying to get through channeling today, but this message is brought forward by Crow, which is Aleister Crowley, and if you find yourself here and you think, what on earth is happening, how is the soul channeling this being, I would like to say I'm not entirely sure myself, but it is happening, and I would like to send you over to our playlist to perhaps delve into something that might be a little bit more palatable for you today. We have some information being brought forward from the GA, which is our fractal of the Galactic Federation of Light that once was, and there's many different star systems that have stepped forward as well within our platform. We have Anna Maria, who is my fellow Light Renegade and Pleiadian Star Sister, and bringing forward the Pleiadian High Council and other such notions connecting to expanse and the polarities of Earth at this time and what that means. But if you are here and you think, I'm not sure how I found myself here, perhaps today's message is for you. It's quite a light message I want to share, but just make sure that you are looking after your mental mind and your physical body alongside, retaining any of our information, because there is a massive trigger warning on everything that we do over here at the Light Renegades. It is definitely pushing boundaries. It definitely pushes the taboo, and yeah, I guess we are ever expanding in expression over here as well. So we are pushing consciousness to its absolute capacity and beyond, it feels like, at this present given moment. But to those that are in real time and that have been here for the longest time, thank you. I feel like there has been an expression of Crow that has been brought forward to my attention at just the deepest of deepest capacities. And, I'm starting to see just how close I've been to all of his expression for the entirety of my life, and just how much his existence in my present given time is really helping me ground in my understanding of whom I am, I guess right now, at a soul's expression in this lifetime. And this idea of, magic and alchemy being something that is just absolutely embedded into my every aspect of being is something that I feel like I'm having to really take on board and just listen to. I'm listening to my soul's heart singing at this time, and it's incredibly painful. I've been taken to some real dark depths of expression being brought forward in my personal spaces, and am I going to share that here? Okay, yeah, I'm going to share that here. So there has been a lot that's come up connecting to my ancestral lineage and that of, massive trigger warning here, but child abuse as well in that, everyone. So I've been taken to the depths of everything again, and having to see it in some real heavy and I guess weighty expressions, and trying to figure out exactly what I need to do in these spaces. If I need to do anything in these spaces, am I sending it up to teams of light and source, or is this something that I need to be figuring out to its deepest capacity? Because this involves my whole ancestral lineage. There has been many people in my life that have been connected to such notions, and when I take it even wider in the expression, I understand why, but I think when it's in your microcosm and you're dealing with people that you love and that you cherish and that you just wish that they hadn't been around such things, it's incredibly difficult to sit with. So bear with me, everyone. There is a lot going on behind the scenes, and I want to say, if you are in the same position as well as me, if there is a lot coming up for you, know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be at this time. We're delving into the absolute core of everything so that we can just unearth it now, and help those around us is what I want to share. So if you've been feeling like you want to delving a little bit deeper into your relationships and understanding those notions, please do. This shadow season I really feel like is coming through the heart space, which I think is why I'm finding it incredibly challenging, because I'm really being taken to the depths of my expression of my heart, and I think it's been my heart that has just been breaking the entirety of my life. So I feel like I've come to the pinnacle of a lot of expression, and now I'm having to bring my heart ever deeper into that expression. This idea of that healing as a cycle, it feels like I've gone right back to the beginning of my journey again, but now I'm bringing even more heart, even more compassion into my spaces and with self. So please do remember that. Please do go easy. And I think I'm bringing all of this up because I feel like the task that is going to be set by Crow today, I keep wanting to say Aleister, by Crow today, might unearth a lot for some out there in the collective. So please go easy, please go well, and sit with this. You don't have to do this weekly. We've been having information being brought forward weekly, and I'm going to tag the first video where Crow was asked for us to start doing, I guess, homework or tasks behind the scenes with regards to our expanse, because I think there is a continuation that is happening with regards to this expression over here. So you might want to start at the beginning, you might want to pause here and go into the description and watch that first video alone, or at least at the beginning of this series, to get a deeper feel for Crow's expression over here. And this is a fractal of Aleister Crowley's energy. This is definitely something that some beings out there did not anticipate us doing on this path, and I'm grateful to be in a position where I get to bring this information forward in such a, I guess, an expansive way at this time. But yesterday's channeling from Crow was titled Nothing, and I feel like there was another video that was also titled Nothing, so I need to go back and watch that just in case it is, or I might have jumped a timeline, who knows at this point. And he started with, "Dear beings, for the past few weeks I've been asking you to collect signs and symbols and relate them to your life path thus far. This week we are looking even deeper into the past. I ask you to remember the first time you thought you felt something of the divine, of light, of God, insert whatever word you wish here, even the darkness. There were many times on my path when I realized that I'd reached the point of no return, that I'd reached the pinnacle, the abyss, and nothing was ever going to be the same again. Granted, I found myself lost in a myriad of black holes that I could not find my way out of. What you dear souls have been doing thus far seems like child's play compared to my life. I look upon the world now and I can see the truth in plain sight. It is barbaric to me where the world finds itself today, and I'm ashamed that I've had a part to play in any of what is going on behind closed doors. This be a reminder that what you sense is real, what you feel is real. It is about time that you claim all that you are. We are igniting the flame of the origins of you. For some, I ask that you please come at this with ease, as it may bring up some wounding that may need assistance. I know that I've been asking so much of you. It is because I know you are ready to take the next step. This will be a steady progress, but progress that soul has been seeking. When was the first time you thought, there it is, life is changed forever? We have all these moments time and time again. This is a remembrance. This is a coming home. This is a stillness so that you can remember you again. Simple yet so effective, this test this week, my fledglings, all my love. And I was grateful to receive this task from Crow. I haven't done this task yet myself. I feel like I've been unearthing so much that, I think that part of me is afraid to go back to the first time. I think that perhaps I haven't had it so, brought to the forefront of my existence and my understanding. I've been seeing so many increments in my life over the past couple of weeks of incidences that I've completely forgotten about as being a child, and seeing something, or, just seeing behind the veil so many times and just glitching because I couldn't make it make sense in my present given reality. And I think so many of his experiences time and time again on our path that it's, it just becomes, I guess, two fragmented understandings. And I think where we are right now is that we're trying to merge the two to be one whole and melded understanding. And, I still have to catch myself every single day, because the fabric of everything that once was just is completely falling apart, and it seems. I feel like I'm falling apart, it seems, daily at this point. And, the overhaul of soul is very, very real. I've been back to just absolute purge fest over here. I've just been in baths as much as I can. Crystals have been my best friend. I've been trying to get out into nature as much as I can, sitting out in the sunshine. Yeah, and that's another thing. We have like ultimate sun, ultimate heat here in the UK, and it's coming up to, the autumn equinox, and I just thought what once was just isn't the same anymore. Yet I've had this deep feeling and this deep notion within self this week that I'm going to share, and it's almost like I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like a mourning. It feels like grief. It feels like death. And I realized that I'd always had this within me, right from being young. And I think that I used to equate it to being at school and the expression of, going back to school or having time off for holiday. But I remember that when it would come up to this season, particularly, the darker aspects of understanding we're moving into, winter, and I would just feel like there was just this mourning that was deep inside of me, and I would feel it so acutely to the point where, you know, I would just feel so chronically depressed that it just didn't make any sense. So it's interesting to me to be feeling these notions again and seeing that, you know, I was just very much in tune with the cycles of life, of expression, of the seasons, but summer I was just so sensitive to everything. I was picking up this collective energy, the energy of so many around me, and taking it on as my own. And another expression that's been brought forward that I'm being called to share is this idea of us coming down and helping others out with their karma. And I know this is something that splits the crowd in the understanding, because some say, you know, you shouldn't be helping others out in their karma, / the information that I've been given behind the scenes is that, you know, they've been keeping me preoccupied by helping others with their karma. You know, these are other souls that I know in previous lives I've been coming down, well, I came down to help them in my expression in the first aspects of my life. There were so many soul contracts that I had to I guess work through in this lifetime, and I'm coming to the point now where, you know, I've sealed off a lot of those soul contracts and what I guess I owe debt to, but in spaces of, you know, challenging expressions, I'm coming into more lighter expressions of understanding. And, you know, I'm grateful for everything that I have experienced, but it's been a very challenging life for me. And, you know, I'm having to accept that as my truth. And I think I've been shaming self behind the scenes, thinking, you know, oh, I haven't gone through as much as other people, etc. And I think we all can say that to ourselves if we want to, you know, really not stand in our sovereignty and in our power, instead of having ultimate compassion for ourselves and saying, I've been through something that was really challenging, and I'm going to be nice to myself about it now. I'm going to see the lessons I've learned in it, and I'm ready to step forward ever more into light and what that means to me. And I definitely feel like we are pushing the boundaries of what light truly means in its expression. And I guess I've moved from light and dark aspects because I believe that we are 50-50 in our expression. And I've done a whole series that I started connecting to the darkness, what it means, and also the light and darkness as well. I've kind of switched up the expression in those two understandings to I guess show the differentiation of the aspects that I've been going through. So I believe that we are all 50% light, 50% dark, but I see it as a self-serving expression. And it was Anna Maria that brought that notion to my table, was this idea of that when something is self-serving, you know, we are not thinking of unity, we're not thinking of consciousness as a collective, which then turns it into something that is more negative in its expression to the whole. And that's where you find yourself in tricky circumstances. So I've been dealing with other beings this lifetime that have been dealing with self-serving expressions, and, you know, me coming into the mix of that and balancing out karma, helping them see you know, perhaps where they've been working that expression, and me just soaking up all of the energy of everything that's been given to us, pumped to us as a society, as human beings down here. I resonate as being a Pleiadian Starseed, and for those that might be here for the first time, and me just being a product of the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 1990, and I'm a product of the 90s, and mind control at its deepest capacity is what I want to share. And this is something that's been brought to my attention today. And, you know, even this morning I had to go back to the beginning and remind myself why I'm doing any of this, because I've just become a puddle. I just became, you know, past the point of, I just became zero again this week. There's just been a massive overhaul of my energy and upgrades, and I've forgotten exactly what I was doing here. I was like, I don't know what I'm even bringing forward at this point. I've forgotten who I was channeling. I've forgotten why I even was existing. And, you know, I was watching conspiracy videos that I'm actually going to tag in the description as well, because I think it might help some of you kind of rejig some understandings within you. And I was thinking, oh yes, I remember now why I'm here, why I'm doing everything that I'm doing over here on the Light Renegades, because it's so incredibly important, and just the truth is so important. And, you know, if you have been here for the longest time, you have already set yourself free. You have already, you know, completed the task. You know what is going on. You know what is going on behind the closed doors. You know what this is all about, and you get to live the life that you want to live. It's something that I want to share too, is that as soon as you know that you realize, as soon as you realize that you've, you know, broken through the fourth wall, so to speak, you've seen behind the veil, then you get to decide what it is that you want to be playing in, what the playground is that, you know, you want to be experiencing. And granted, we do all come down here with very specific notions of life path and understanding, but my life's understanding and what was brought to my table when I very first started to awaken was that I was here to love and be loved. And I did not know what that meant at that time. I had no idea, you know, exactly what that expression would bring me to, yet I'm here. And every day I'm stepping ever towards my truth of loving and just being loved. And I realized that I've always been a soul that gave so much to the point that, you know, I couldn't even see my true being because I was just being bombarded every day by this collective energy, by this mind control expression. And I have to laugh because I feel like somewhere it is just so incredibly crazy what we live on a day-to-day basis if you are consuming you know, mass media and the control that it has over so many, that you have to laugh at it at some points because it is just so harrowing and scary and confusing. So please go easy in your expression. Please go easy within all of this because you are dealing with a lot. No matter what it looks like to anyone else, you know, this is about your life path and what you've been through. So please be kind to you. Please hold yourself in soul and in heart, and knowing that you tried your best at any given moment. And I've been having to have ultimate compassion in my spaces for self and for those around me. You know, I realize that everything that I've been through has completely shaped who I am to this moment in time, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. But does that mean I still get upset sometimes over things? Yes. Does that still mean I get angry at things sometimes? Absolutely. But I'm okay to be in that expression as long as I'm not harming anyone else and I'm releasing it behind the scenes. That is what we come here to do. So please allow yourself to feel in this time, especially with this deep shadow season and this deep purge, because we are supposed to be releasing it all now so that we can just step forward in our own sovereignty, in our own power, in our own inherent soul's gifts. And I realize that I've just been clawing my way out of a pit to try and find myself. And, you know, I feel like I'm at phase 1 of this whole entire journey still. You know, I feel like you reach those pinnacle points of expression, and then I've just been taken right back down to 0 again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just absolutely was not expecting this at this moment in my journey. And, you know, teams of light came in today, and thankfully I was at a time where I could receive this ingest. Yesterday I would not have been able to receive this ingest, and, you know, they were just laughing at me. They were laughing because they say, you know, you asked for everything, you asked for expanse, you asked to delve deeper, and then you're surprised when you're in a puddle on the floor that was like, this is what it takes, you know, remember, this is what the path is. You have to turn into a puddle, you have to go into the chrysalis in order to break free. So they were laughing at me, I was laughing, and I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. I keep asking for, you know, to see more, to experience more, and then I forget, you know, it doesn't often come in linear time. So when you get hit by this wave of just, oh my gosh, it feels like I don't know what is happening, but we ask for it. That's why it comes. It's because we're asking for it and we're ready to reach those deeper aspects of self. So please go easy, please go well, everyone. And, you know, please do reach out to me if you would like support in your spaces, and reach out to Crow as well. He's very much here in his expression for all of you, and specifically those that are delving into, you know, magic and alchemy and what that means for you, symbolism, and trying to understand where you might find yourself and want to be, I guess, steady footing yourself, coming out of aspects of self-serving notions specifically as well. Call upon its energy, you know, in the highest vibration, and you can receive that expression back to you. But please go easy in your expression in your spaces. I've definitely been feeling like I've been having to double down on my expression of protection and cleansing my spaces. I've been, I guess, completely sent back to the beginning of my journey, where I feel like I'm having to protect my energy and cleanse my energy, not necessarily from other beings, although I have been feeling that expression pretty chronically this week. The negative reptilians have been in, and they are not liking what I'm seeding in my own expression. You know, I've been brought remembrance of self, which means I'm being brought a lot of information that they don't want out there at this time specifically. So they've been around, you know, watching me in my spaces, and, you know, I don't know if I send them love at all times, specifically when I'm purging. I'm in the expression of that with them, and, you know, I just stand in my power because I know that there is nothing that they can do that can harm me at this point in time. Well, you know, any point in my expression, and whatever happens to me in my life path, I trust that was supposed to happen, so I do not fear, you know, me passing, my life ending. I had to deal with that a long time ago on this path and on this journey, so hold that in heart too if you feel like you've been, again, I wanted to say possessed. If you feel like you've been dealing with that aspect of expression, please do not hesitate to reach out. I want to say that the entirety of 2022, I was absolutely possessed by a myriad of understandings and beings at that point. And, you know, I was figuring it out behind the scenes, and I'm grateful for that expression, but it was incredibly chaotic. But I want to say that your light outshines anything. So remember that if you have things in your spaces that you feel like, I don't think it should be there, just send it love, or, you know, expand your light in those spaces. And I'm going to tag a meditation that I recorded a while ago. It's quite strict in its understanding. I kind of have shifted in my expression since that time, but I feel like it's there for those that might be in the grips of specific understandings and doctrines of magic. And I realize that we do have to play by their rules to some expression. Until you reach the higher aspects of everything, you do have to play by those inherent rules of that time. And I guess I'm jumping ahead in my expression here, but that's for those that might be seeding in where they are right now. And if you would like to discuss that a little bit more, do not hesitate to reach out. But that's there for some. But that's all for myself and Crow today. And yeah, please go well, and I'll be back real soon.